And we're live. What is good, YouTube? This your boys back again. Your man from Unapologetically Men, the dynamic duo. I'm your host, Max, aka Maximilian. You know who it is. And I got my co-host with me tonight.
Oh, y'all know who it is. It's Lando up in the building tonight.
Back again, sir. How you been, man?
Oh man, I've been good, man. Just waiting for this weather to break. It's
Yeah.
been about 50 degrees, but it still felt chilly.
Yeah. I'm getting that too. Kicking a little. The sun's been out and whatnot. I'm registered 50 on the scale, but you got that little breeze that's keeping it just a little bit on the chill side. So, we almost there though. We almost there. It's about that time. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? Did you have any activities on St. Patrick's Day weekend?
Oh, yeah. I was just getting some rest.
Nah, I
I've been
feel you.
working very hard, so I've
Yeah,
just been more or less
yeah,
in the house, just trying to do some spring cleaning before spring.
yeah.
That way when the weather get nice, I won't actually be working. You know
I
what I
feel you.
mean?
I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, trying to get pre gaming.
Yep.
All right, but all right, so we're gonna jump right into this show tonight. I want to thank you guys for chiming in and checking in, but this one is called WTF because we bringing this real serious topic to you tonight about this article, and it comes from the Ukraine. Um, it's a mother who is 26 years old and she's dressed up in lingerie. It says, like, so here's the title. Here's the brief title on this. It says, Mother, 26, who's dressed up in lingerie to have sex with her 4-year-old son while filming the abuse for pedophiles is arrested in Ukraine. So going into this article real quick, I'm gonna read a little brief snippet of it. You can probably I'll put the link down into the description. But this comes to us from the Daily Mail. But it says a mother who allegedly filmed herself having sex with her 4-year-old son before selling the clips on the dark net has been arrested in Ukraine. Police raided the flat of the 26-year-old in the city of Vinnytsia, I believe that's pronounced, region, and found numerous video files stored on her computer. The mother, who has not been named to protect the identity of the victim, had reportedly been selling the footage for 3,000 Ukrainian dollars.
Mm,
So,
damn.
not to go all the way into this article, but you guys can read it for yourself. I'll drop the link in the description, like I said. Mr. Lando, what's your first thoughts on this, man? What do you feel about this woman that's doing this shit?
Man, I mean, there's a lot to be said about this. I mean,
Hmm.
one is what kind of mother is this to like set up a seductive evening with a 4-year-old child?
Yeah, right.
And the second thing is, um, well, if you read the article, it does mention something about her actually being a porn actress or whatever.
Right.
So, and then she's gonna be selling the clips for like 3 grand.
Yeah, it's like she just used. I mean, it just seemed like her child was a tool, an
Hmm.
instrument of personal gain. And I think, like, for me, like, this also hits home in
Hmm.
terms of teachers. That we keep seeing reports about the teachers that are being
Hmm.
arrested for pedophilia with young boys in the school system and whatnot. I just feel like this isn't actually something that's new. Like, it doesn't. I just feel like reporting on it is new. Like, it was just being overshadowed
Yeah.
because it used to be that a lot of the men would be in the position of being sex offenders.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
because
you know,
it's like nobody wants to think that a woman is capable of such evil.
yeah.
But my question is like when a woman is found guilty of pedophilia
Hmm.
or rape or whatever,
Hmm.
does she has to register as a sex offender in her area?
Hmm.
Because I'm just curious about that.
I never hear. Yeah, I know. I never hear about that. You know what I'm saying? I never hear. Um, they'll show they'll show the predator. Let's call them what it is. They're predators.
Mm-hmm.
They'll show the predator. It's always going to be some. It seems to be they're
It's
getting
always some
younger and more
creepy looking
attractive.
white dude.
Yeah, yeah. They're the female teachers are getting more they're getting younger and attractive, and so you get that whole phenomenon of grown men saying how they wish they were you know in that situation when they were that age. You know what I'm saying? Being
Mhm.
pursued by these much older female teachers, but
Yeah,
I,
I personally think it's just my opinion, but when guys say that,
hmm
I think they're being real dumb. I mean, it really hurts the argument because
right,
you're looking at it through hindsight. You know, when you hear
right,
about like an attractive teacher having sex with an underage child,
hmm
you know, some men are like, man, if it was me, I would have did. And I'm thinking, you don't know what the hell you would have done in
right,
that situation
right.
when your mindset is that of a child. You know what I
Right,
mean?
exactly. They don't take into nobody's taking into the account that they're speaking from a place of adulthood and not a place of being a child at that moment in time. Because
Exactly.
we're
You know,
talking
I
like
mean,
11, 12-year-old kids, they're not
yeah,
thinking about fucking their teacher.
they
They
ain't
want to be
never no
playing
fucking
shit.
nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think back to when I was that age. You know, my mind was on Nintendo and GI Joe.
Right, right.
I was not thinking about, ooh, when am I going to get some pussy?
Yeah, like the
Well,
first the first thought process at that age is probably more so along the lines of when I'm gonna get my first kiss. Like that's gonna be the extent of it.
yeah, that's as far as it goes. And
Yeah.
I have had conversations with guys saying that, oh, I was fucking at the age of 11. And I'm thinking to
Mm.
myself, who touched you?
Right.
I mean, seriously,
Right.
that is not normal to be
Right. It is out of
sexually active anywhere before like your higher teens. You know
right,
what I
right,
mean?
right, right.
Your,
It's
your
it's a
normal
very
development.
right. It doesn't happen very often when you get to that when you're around that age. It doesn't happen very often. You usually get a little bit older, like you said, upper teens, before
Yeah,
you actually get into
yeah.
physical contact in that way.
At the very least, the
Right,
upper
right,
teens.
right.
But
And, that-
it's
and
like if a dude is talking about how he's fucking at the age of 11, 12, 13, or whatever,
mhm.
something was going on with him back in the day. I
It
mean, let's just
could be.
call a spade. You
Right.
know,
It could
I'm
be.
not
Yeah.
saying he's wrong,
Mhm.
but somewhere along the line, his childhood got real fucking curved.
he had a fast track to adulthood in that aspect.
Yeah,
But
he probably woke up with a babysitter's mouth on his dick or something,
right.
and you
And
know, next
speaking
thing
on
you
that,
know,
yeah, and speaking on that for an adult to do these type of things to a young boy, you
hmm
know, in retrospect or in hindsight, that will really mess up a young man's childhood, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So,
it would really distort his perspective in terms of relationships and interacting with
mhm.
women. You remember that movie, Searching for Bobby Fischer?
Yeah,
He was really screwed up over that shit.
right, right,
He could not function throughout that whole movie, and
right.
that was based on a true story.
Right. And I can only imagine how, and being that this woman, bouncing back to the article, being that this woman, it's his own mother.
Mm,
Like,
yeah.
how bad is that going to be for that young man? You know what I'm saying?
hmm
I
I
just,
mean, he might be strong enough to kind of like, you know,
hmm
keep it inside and just later find out it is what it is, and you know,
hmm
like, well, this is the experience I had. It didn't break me. He could
right,
go that way, or he could be like so distorted that he just might grow up with the idea of first time I get pussy, I'm gonna tear it up. You know what I mean?
right, right,
I don't know. Anything could happen. You know, every child is different when it comes to how they process and deal with drama or
right.
trauma. I'm sorry.
Right. It's definitely trauma. It's a very traumatic experience.
hmm
And that's just like nobody actually. I haven't seen it. I mean, is there research that's even, you know, touching on the fact that little boys like will have these traumatic experiences?
I don't think
and
there
see
is.
how it affects our development, as men, as we grow into men.
I would have to do some research, but honestly, I
Hmm.
don't think there is because young men and boys are not valued in Western culture,
Right,
not nearly as much as women. You know,
right.
because like women, women are they're kind of done a disservice too when they're young, but
Hmm.
still they get a little bit of a leg up. They're a lot more. Um, what's the word? Well, there's a lot more investment into the betterment of their future when they're young
Right,
girls,
right,
but they're also deluded in being taught that they're going to receive all these accolades when they get older just because they're female, or they
right,
should expect all this stuff to happen for them. You know what I
right.
mean? As far
Yeah.
as finding like the trophy husband or whatever.
Hmm.
So I mean, there's a lot going on both sides, but I mean, for boys, I mean, we not only are young boys left behind, but they're also drugged at the same time too.
Right, right, right. And I remember we touched on it a little bit in our last podcast, about the ADHD and all that stuff,
Mhm.
that whole hyperactivity and whatnot. And I just feel, these we have to protect them more, you know what I'm saying? We have to be keep an eye on these young men, um as they get older, to protect them the best way we can, because society right now is not set up to do that.
Yeah, we definitely have to protect them because um, they are they're our natural resource when it comes
Mhm.
to the future of society because it's like we're still training up young men as being disposable,
Right, right,
making them believe that they're supposed to go over and beyond and sacrifice themselves. They're not taught to value themselves. They're just taught that they're just these things.
right,
You
right.
know what I mean?
And it has to be done in a certain way to not, uh what's the word I'm looking for? Not, be a incubator for narcissism, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So teach them self-value, at the same time not being overly narcissistic about it.
Right.
Self-preservation is more the avenue that we have to navigate as we grow older as men, and train either train your own sons, or saying, if you're mentoring some other young man out there that you are connected to in some other fashion, you
Hmm.
know um but I mean, I'm not saying, like, that women are incapable of doing it for young men, but there's just something to be said about the male influence for young boys that
Yeah.
women just cannot produce.
No,
And
I mean,
we're seeing, like I said, we're seeing, more and more news stories about females, just thinking they can take little boys and do whatever they wished with them. And for the most part, s- society is not punishing them to the same degree as they as they did for,
oh
when
no,
they
yeah.
had men, sleeping around with, young students and whatnot.
I
You know.
remember when there was actually talk of doing chemical castration on men that
Mhm.
that are pedophiles.
Mhm.
It's like what will be the equivalent to do on women
Right.
that are pedophiles? What would you do to them that
Uh,
is to that same degree?
right.
I
And
mean,
nobody's gonna
nobody's going to
say
suggest
that.
to
Yeah.
cut their breasts off. Nobody's going to suggest to weld their pussy shut. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. And nobody. Yeah. They're not. They're they have deemed it. They have pretty much sugarcoated it
Hmm.
when it comes to, a disturbed woman to be sleeping around with little boys. They just sugarcoat it, and and the laws are not there to protect that young man. They're,
I
yeah,
wonder. I
in
wonder what
some
the
state.
punishment is. I mean, because seriously, it's like you hear about, oh, a
Mhm.
woman was arrested.
Right,
Okay, she was arrested. Big deal. What's
right,
going to happen after that?
right,
Because when they do the news stories with men, they don't say, "Oh, a man was arrested." They say a man was convicted.
Right.
There's a big difference there,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and you get some serious time for it
Right.
too.
And in most cases, and in a lot of cases, I've even heard cases where you know she would go to jail, and then say when that she gets pregnant by that young man, he's like liable for child support when he turns 18 or some shit like that. You know,
Oh yeah,
I've seen cases like that. So
yeah,
it's
that's true.
there's
That
just
now that's
no
traumatizing. You get
yeah
raped, and then when you turn 18, you gotta pay the person that raped you.
yeah exactly. Exactly. And then, or I think there was one, one the first famous cases, the guy actually ended up turning 18, and then he became like a spouse to the teacher that seduced him or whatever.
Mm.
I forget what the name of that case was. That was one of the most famous ones, though. It was
Well,
like
wait,
one of the most.
so you're saying he had to marry the chick that raped him?
Well, he didn't have to, but I think that's what ended up happening. Is that he ended
Damn.
up marrying her or being involved in a relationship with her. You know what I'm saying? Like a legit relationship
Nah, that's
after
crazy.
after that happened. So like, that's I don't know what age she started to seduce him, but like that's how their story turned out.
Mm.
But in many cases, that's
Kind of
just
like Stockholm syndrome at
yeah,
that point.
exactly. That's like some Stockholm syndrome shit. I don't know, to what degree that these other young men will have when if they were to get some shit like that to happen to them.
Right.
But it's just a one-off case. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, and it's just, man, like I said, it's not even something that's a new phenomenon. It, bitch has been doing this shit for forever. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
it's been on both sides of the fence when it comes to that, and they only just reporting it more on for women. You know,
Yeah, they just
that's
now
how I'm seeing it.
these stories are just now getting traction. So when
Right,
people read them, they're gonna be like, "Whoa, a woman did this?" You
right.
know.
It's almost come. Do you feel like it's becoming too commonplace now?
Um, I think I don't know. I think the general public might be just desensitized, just
Hmm.
maybe a little bit. Not so much because of the gender bias, but because that there's just so much nonsense happening all at the same time in general
Right,
with a lot of stuff,
right.
political stuff,
Hmm.
things that are happening in different communities. It's like there's so much stimulation that's happening that
Hmm.
people are not shocked by anything anymore.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So, I mean, it's only a matter of time before they start legalizing bestiality.
Hmm.
Watch, it's gonna happen.
Got motherfuckers doing all kind of stupid shit.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh man.
Motherfuckers gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna marry my dog. And
I mean, they already married themselves.
oh yeah, people marrying themselves.
Yeah, I
I,
haven't seen them.
I saw a report of a transgender man giving birth,
Oh yeah, I think I saw
and,
that story too.
and it's like, wow, what are they gonna come up with next?
Right, right. You think you've
And
seen
you
it all?
look at and you could tell this person had all kinds of treatments done because uh the dude, well, I'll just go ahead and say the dude or whatever, the
Mhm,
dudette, I don't know, but got facial hair and the whole nine, you know what I
mhm.
mean,
But pregnant.
but pregnant,
Mm,
you
yeah.
know,
I,
about to give birth and shit.
I,
And
I don't know,
it's like,
dude.
well, one thing that stands out to me is this person doesn't have an Adam's apple, so
True, true, true.
it's like, okay, you've done a remarkable job by spending a small fortune on trying to become a man,
Mhm.
but you still giving birth.
Right. Yeah. And that's I guess you can lump that in the WTF moment too, because
Hmm.
man, it's just when you think you've seen it all,
Hmm.
something else comes up. But
Oh, quick side note.
yeah.
Um, you remember seeing the thing about the the British rapper or or UK rapper that uh identified as a woman
Mm.
while breaking the deadlift record.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Right, right, right.
Yeah, so I saw a video where he was actually getting interviewed on it.
Yeah.
He spoke really intelligently about the situation
Mm.
because he just wanted to say that there is clearly a huge advantage for transgender men in sports
Right,
or transgender women because these people are still men through and through,
right.
and there is a definite difference in physicality, not just because of testosterone levels. Is way more than that.
Oh yeah,
Is the
definitely.
fact that the chromosomes, the DNA, you know what I mean?
Right,
All of that stuff, the muscle mass, the skeletal I can't talk. The musculature and the skeletal system, all that stuff, no woman has that kind of structure.
right,
You know what I mean? And I don't care how effeminate you can make a man, he's still gonna be physically superior to a woman,
right,
you know. And it's like the exception does not rule out the rule.
right. It does make the rule. You got that
Yeah,
right.
like in UFC, you got the transgender dude
Right.
beating the brakes off of women.
Cracking skulls and shit, man.
Yeah, yeah, but it's like if he loses a fight, oh, see, women are tough too. It's like, okay, no one's saying that women can't fight.
Right.
What it's saying is if you allow too many men to flood women's sports, it's gonna ruin women's sports.
Oh, absolutely.
Women are not gonna be, you know, um placing anymore.
Right.
You're just gonna have all these trainees placing.
Right. Yeah. They, I mean, that's and my motto is let them lay in the bed that they created. So
Oh
fuck it.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they can't claim patriarchy after that because
Nah.
these transgender women are gonna be say, yeah, we hate the patriarchy too, and they just gonna have to eat crow because it's like
Right.
they caused all this stuff, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shit. But yeah. Anyhow, that's our show, guys. We don't say thank you again for checking out, staying with us. We came to you on a Tuesday night because we just Monday was part of the St. Patrick's Day festivities, and run past time, and we bringing the show to you tonight on a Tuesday night. But will be returning again Monday is our normal podcast time. This is your boy Max from Unapologetically Men, and I got my co-host with me tonight.
Lando, we signing out.
Yes, sir. Peace.